Hello everybody, Wine with Jimmy here, and I am in Sonoma. I have a very special guest with me, Ross Cobb. Hello Ross.
Hello.
Real great producer of Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays and Riesling here in the Sonoma Coast. You have a very unique production method with Pinot Noir, which really makes your Pinot Noir stand out. Could you talk a little bit about the steps that you go through to make Pinot Noir as aromatic as you find it in the glass?
Sure. Thank you. So aromatics are 90% if you were to make up a percentage of the experience of the wine. So I've always actually made wine more on aromatics, and texture and mouthfeel are more of a secondary. One of these great winemakers in Burgundy, when I was meeting with years ago, said a Pinot Noir should smell like a Pinot Noir and it should taste like a Chardonnay. Which is like this exaggeration from, Chardonnay in Burgundy and the Côte de Beaune, but it is exactly accurate. And when you have tannins and such, it's not a problem, but it shouldn't be a goal. So aromatics are it's an art and a science. So what I do is I'm picking at night, keeping the fruit cool. It comes into the winery at 10 Celsius, if you will. It's coming into the winery kind of pre-refrigerated. So as I take the grapes into the winery, I'm keeping it under CO2. My analogy for people working in the restaurant industry or anywhere else, it's like a produce, like that fresh lettuce and produce. You're keeping it fresh, you're misting it, you're keeping it cool. In this case, we're keeping it under carbon dioxide. So the aromas are retained for 2 to 3 weeks during a cold soak period. So cold soak is a period where the enzymes and the native yeasts are building up, and they're kind of doing their pre-prep work for the fermentation. And then once the grapes are in full fermentation mode, they are going to have this great native yeast that's already been built up.
And typical cold soaks are 2, 3, 4 days for
Yes,
most producers, but
yes.
you go to this 2 to 3 week
That's
level.
correct. Kind of gone through this cold soak, which is not for tannins or color, really. It's just for the aromatics, which is not what most people think when they think extraction cold soak. You think tannins, color. For me, it's not about color. You should be able to see your fingerprint through the wine if it's a true Pinot Noir. Not just the finger, but the fingerprint.